And click a thingy and go.
But everything I'm doing, everything that's happening right now around this is about the same thing. It's all about identity. It's because that's all there is. I think it's the most important thing in the world.
Brown is best known for The Da Vinci Code, one of the best-selling novels of all time. His books have sold more than 200 million copies around the world.
His latest called Origin features the return of symbologist Robert Langdon. This time he's trying to unlock a discovery that will help answer two fundamental questions of human existence. Where do we come from and where are we going?
As an actor, you play characters, and then if you go deep enough into those characters, you realize that your own character is pretty thin to begin with. And then you suddenly have this separation and go, well, who's Jim Carrey? Oh, he doesn't exist, actually.
When you talk about artificial intelligence, because the character Winston was so good, Dan, I had to keep flipping back to make sure, are we sure this guy's not a human?
Right.
He was so real in the way that he thought and the way that he behaved. What is the message you're trying to send to us there? Because after a while, it scared me a little bit that the guy was so clear to me that I thought I knew him.
I do believe in manifestation, power of that kind of stuff, but I don't believe that any of it matters. This mattering is to me a human construct, born out of a need, the same need as you have to have, deities and things like that. I mean, I believe in an energy of God, an energy of, everything is divine. There's no thing that isn't divine. Everything is divine, and I'm that. I'm not the body. I'm you guys, and I'm this thing, and I'm this thing, and I'm the cameras. And it doesn't matter to me what's happening on them.
This is great. Origin, the fifth novel, right, in this
it is.
Robert Langdon series, and it focuses on this question we talked about, but how God will survive science.
Is our culture the best role model for a new consciousness, a new intellect? If it learns to be like we are, it's going to learn a lot of compassion, but it could also learn a lot of self-centered evil.
Life isn't happening to you; it's happening for for the good of everyone. It's just it's a play. It's a giant field of consciousness dancing for itself, and you're here to make me happy, it's making itself happy. It's like one soul. That's how I feel. I feel like people say, well, I have a soul. You don't have a soul. There's no you, but I feel like there is a soul, and it includes everything.
Maybe an existential out-of-body experience, perhaps, for Jim Carrey, or something else interfering with his mind.
I believe we're a field of energy dancing for itself, and I don't care.
But Jim, you got really dressed up for the occasion. You look good.
No, I didn't.
Was that an accident?
I didn't get dressed up.
Who did?
There is no me.
There's no you.
No.
We're not here. This is a dream?
It's just things happening. I'm finding that ultimately the freedom from it is something people are kind of hungry for in a way.
Right.
They're like, I don't want to be me either.
Right.
And I go, well, great, because you never have been.
Right. Has this always been the case? Like, deep down, is that been something that you've always thought of, or is that a shift?
The knowledge has been evolving, and I had to. I believe that I had to become a famous, idea.
Yeah.
And get all the stuff that people dream about, and accomplish a bunch of things that that look like success in order to give up my attachment to those things. It's been a part of the evolution of ego is to spend your first half of your life acquiring and adding, thinking you can add to yourself, and it looks great. I mean, it looks great when you got a cool car and you got nice clothes, and and you're and you've done something that people admire, but it can never fulfill you. You can never be happy. You know what I mean? It's not where happiness comes from.
There aren't too many people who this guy can't make laugh. He's starred in over 40 films, and we all have our favorite. Yes, from The Mask to The Cable Guy. Hello, Mama. Liar, Liar, Batman Forever. Joygasm! Bruce Almighty, Yes Man, Dumb and Dumber.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
The Truman Show, Me, Myself and Irene, then the more serious Number 23. And of course the one that pretty much started it all, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
Did you have any trouble getting in? No, the guy with the rubber glove was.
You know, you talk about like Jim Carrey the man, Jim Carrey the performer. Are you more comfortable as one or the other, or is that like, are they even mutually exclusive?
I don't exist. So they're all characters that I've played, including Jim Carrey, including Joel Barish, including any of those things. They're all characters.
It told us the story of a man who stepped through his life from a child to becoming a hugely successful comedian, also with appearances on Saturday Night Live and David Letterman.
I was just playing bad guy wrestler, you know, and it's just a role. It's not me.
Jim Carrey was a less intentional character,
right?
Because I thought I was just building something that people would like, but it was a character, you know. So it's, you know, I played the guy that was free from concern, so that people who watched me would be free from concern, you know. And then at a certain point, you go like, okay, well, that's great.
And I thought I had become Andy Kaufman, but there was no me actually at the end of it all. I realized that there was, you know, that this character was making choices to play a character, and you know, so that's what kind of happened, and that's what Chris found in this interview and in this footage, that there was actually a existential, not a crisis, but a discovery going on. You know,
there's been a lot of talk in the last few days, well, today recently, about
a lot of people making sound over here.
So much of that.
That's right.
People talking about an interview that you did at New York Fashion Week, and you talked about
I've
identity.
covered a lot of fashion weeks. This is the first time I've run into Jim Carrey. Wait, tell me, is it true you're wandering the streets? You need a date to the party? What's up?
No. I'm doing just fine. I just, you know, there's no meaning to any of this. So I wanted to find the most meaningless thing that I could come to and join, and here I am.
They're celebrating.
I mean, you got to admit it's completely meaningless.
Well, they say they're celebrating icons inside.
Celebrating
Do you believe
icons,
in
boy, that is just the absolute lowest aiming, you know, possibility that we could come up with.
It's every actor's job to be brave, to take chances and risk this, whatever this is.
Carrey scored a Golden Globe Award for his performance.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And is thrilled to be revisiting the role.
God, man, woman, dog.
Let's go to entertainment now. Comedian Jim Carrey has been forced to explain a bizarre interview he gave at New York Fashion Week just days ago.
Do you believe in icons? I don't believe in personalities. I don't believe that you exist, but there is a wonderful fragrance in the air.
You don't believe certain icons have the power to make change, to think differently, to be bold, to inspire others? Artistry? You're one of them.
On the good foot. Ha! Yeah. You shut it down now. Yeah, no, I don't believe in icons. I don't believe in personalities. I believe that peace lies beyond personality, beyond invention and disguise, beyond the red S that you wear on your chest that makes bullets bounce off. I believe that it's deeper than that.
Do you think that people kind of just don't understand it, or they haven't clued in to this whole thing you're talking about of people wearing masks?
I think that we're all, you know, we're all trying to add things to ourselves so that we can finally define ourselves, and then everybody will get us and they'll go, okay, this is what you are. And then if you actually get there, you will find it so empty that you'll realize that's really not what it's about. It's about not only just going with the flow, but it's about not taking it personal. It's like the difference between a house and my house is a world of difference, and it's the my that's the problem. So you can do all this without the my involved.
There's just a relative manifestation of consciousness appearing, and then somebody gave him a bunch of ideas. They gave him a name and a religion and a nationality, and he clustered those together into something that's supposed to be a personality.
The happy place is realizing that you're everything, and that there's no real you involved in the first place. It's a weird little semantic jump that you make where it sounds like, well, that's totally threatening, man. I can't not be me. I've built this construct.
Yeah.
From the time I was given a name, and it's just ideas.
Right.
They're just ideas.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that separates you from an African American or an African Canadian is an idea. And the weather.
Right.
And the adaptation to the climate. And whatever it is, I don't believe in any of it.
This is a kind of a recurring theme in all of these books of science and religion, God and technology, and it's a kind of a personal journey to try to reconcile the two against each other.
And one of the things too you talk about is artificial intelligence and where that takes us.
Yeah.
You delve in. It's not only just a great thriller. You really kind of challenge the mind.
The story begins with a brilliant futurist who has made a discovery that he believes will undermine the foundations of world religion.
I had to learn a lot about AI to write this book, and these are exciting times. The world is changing very, very quickly, and there's a lot happening that's going to pose some big ethical dilemmas that we're going to have to deal with. Yeah. AI is something that fascinates me deeply, mainly because scientists they can't agree on whether it's going to save us or kill us. A lot of scientists feel that we're on the verge of a new renaissance, that AI will solve the big problems of humanity: scarcity, overpopulation, pollution, and yet a lot of scientists feel that it's so powerful it will destroy us. And as evidence, they remind us that our species has never created a technology that we have not weaponized, and it would be naive to think that AI will be any different.
But Dan, you also said something interesting to me, that with religion, we're always looking up. And in this era of the smartphone, we're always looking down.
We are. And that was a fascinating thing, to talk to both scientists and theologians while researching this book, and understanding that technology is changing the way we interact as humans. And when I grew up, my miracles were the virgin birth, the resurrection. And nowadays, you talk to most kids about the resurrection, and it doesn't really register.
Yeah.
Their miracles are whatever Snapchat can do this week, or whatever the new iOS can do. And it's funny, we were talking earlier about this idea that technology has given everybody with an iPhone an international publishing deal instantly.
Instantly.
A platform,
Instantly.
right.
A platform. And it used to be that there was a vetting process to information that rose to the surface. You're in the news, you understand that.
There's no filter.
You're right.
I mean, throughout time, like Andy, like Lenny Bruce, like breakthrough people, artists and whatever, refused to wear the mask. Although Andy was putting masks on, those who wish to masquerade for the rest of this virtual game sometimes are made really uncomfortable by it.
And that's kind of the experience I had, trying to get back to myself. And then when I finally did get back to who Jim Carrey was, I was like, well, this is optional. And, I'm not really going to stick in here too long. I'm going to play with it. This is a great avatar. I enjoy it. Couldn't beat it, really. I've done pretty good, so I get to, I get all the best weapons and stuff. And no, I'm just enjoying the ride.
everything I'm doing, everything that's happening right now around this is about the same thing. It's all about identity.
I would like to take this entire audience out for milk and cookies. Follow me!
And when you wake up in the morning and you feel like I'm the universe, you don't have to reach for the stars. You know, you can just let life happen.
Yeah.
And walk through the doors. You know.
We'll have to wrap that. Sorry. Thanks very much.
I'm sorry,
Hey.
you've run out of time.
Well, listen, you've made me very happy, so thank you for your time today, man.
No, actually, I didn't make you happy.
Right. I don't know who you've made happy, but
no,
there's a happy feeling
just
here.
a cluster of tetrahedrons.
Still trying to figure this
But a
all
pleasant
out, man.